shit, I might actually have to... If you're joining in, I'm currently fuddling around. Oh, I gotta sign into things. I'm on a different profile on my computer, so this is I'm finagling things right now in case anybody's watching currently. But we will begin the reading soon. Let's see. Oh boy. Shit. Oh. That's why I'm not able to sign in properly. Alright. Still fighting with getting my thing set up. So enjoy the music. There we go. I'm going to be messing around with a few more things, getting things set up, because this is a new profile that I'm working on for the streaming and stuff. Alright. Good thing this is all happening now and not later. But if anybody's currently watching, I cover games that my dad is too dead to play, and the next game up is Morrowind, so I decided, hey, why not read through some of these esoteric religious things and get some good stuff out of that. Alright, there we go. Everything is going better. Close that. Alright, there we go. So many things that are going incorrect. Now I'm going to start off by just switching it on over to the 36 Lessons of Vivec. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about them first to give a little bit of background, and then I'll start reading it. I mean, you can read. It's gonna be on screen, so it's gonna be easy for you to follow along. In fact, I might put the link for this in. Yeah, I'll put the link for this in the chat. There we go. Let me putting a chat message in really quick. So you can follow along if you want to. Alright. I also have some music I can play after moving off of this screen. I might try playing some of that music. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. Hopefully that looks good. I'm still adjusting how I'm seated as well, because for some reason the mic really doesn't want to pick me up while I'm streaming, which is never fun. This is about as far as I can actually know. I can move the mic closer to me. Do I want to risk it though? Yes, I want to risk it. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can move this mic without the mic shutting off. Actually, no, I'm not going to risk it. There's too many knobs. So I'm just going to have to get a little closer. And I'm not going to be able to put my legs up for 3 hours. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Alright, so the 36 Lessons of Vivec are a religious text from the video game The Elder Scrolls III Morrowind, released in 2002-ish? It's a game for the original Xbox. The guy who wrote these 36 Lessons of Vivec, he's a fun man, Michael Kirkbride, and one of his intentions of working on Morrowind was he wanted to put a hermaphrodite on the Xbox, the system famous for shooting people, because, Halo was big and all that. And so, I mean, he did it. Vivec, the writer of the 36 Lessons of Vivec, is an intersex god of... What are his specialties? He's the warrior poet, right? He also does a lot of weird stuff. This is self-insert fanfiction from a god. He wrote basically the Bible for the Dunmer, and it's wild. So I'm gonna take a drink really quick, and then I can get on to reading. If you have any questions, just post them in the chat, or if you just want to chat with me, post it in the chat, and I'll get to them in between the sermons. I'm aiming to do 12 of them tonight, because there's 36 of them, and I want to stream for 3 nights this week, and we'll see how it gets. This is basically a just chatting stream, only I'm mostly reading weird esoteric bullshit. Okay, Sermon 1. He was born in the ash among the Lothli, anon Chimer, before the war with the northern men. Ayem came first to the village of the Nechimen, and her shadow was that of Boethia, who was the prince of plots, and things unknown and known would fold themselves around her until they were like stars or the messages of stars. Ayem took an Nechimen's wife and said, I am the face-snaked queen of the 3-in-1, in use an image and a 7-syllable spell, Ayem a Seti a Vic, which you will repeat to it until mystery comes. Then Ayem threw the Nechimen's wife into the ocean water where either dregs or drew, depending on pronunciation, took her into the castles of glass and coral. They gifted the Nechimen's wife with gills and milk fingers, changing her sex so that she might give birth to the image as an egg, though there she stayed for 7 or 8 months. Then Set came to the Nechimen's wife and said, I am the clockwork king of the 3-in-1, in use an egg of my brother-sister, who possesses invisible knowledge of words and swords, which you shall nurture until the Hortator comes. And Set then extended his hands, and the multitudes of homunculi came forth, each like a glimmering rope through the water. And they raised the Nichman's wife back to the surface world and set her down on the shoals of Azura's coast. There she lay for 7 or 8 more months, caring for the egg knowledge by whispering to it the codes of Mafala and the prophecies of Veloth and even the forbidden teachings of Trinamek. This is before he got eaten and shat out. 7 Daedra came to her one night, and each one gave to the egg new motions that could be achieved by certain movements of the bones. These are called the Barons of Move Like This. Then an 8th Daedroth came, and he was a demi-prince called Fahnuaten, or the multiplier of motions known. And Fahnuaten said, "Whom do you wait for?" To which the Netchman's wife said, "The Hortator. Go to the land of the Indoril in 3 months' time, for that is when war comes. I return now to haunt the warriors who fell, and still wonder why. But first, I show you this." Then the barons and the demi-prince joined together into a pillar of fighting styles terrible to behold, and they danced before the egg and its learning image. "Look, little Vec, and find the phase behind the splendor of my bladed carriage, for it is delivered the unmixed conflict path, perfect in every way. What is its number?" At first I thought it was the mom talking, and then I realized, oh fuck, it's probably the barons or the demi-prince. And it became Mickey Mouse. "It is said the number is the number of birds that can nest in an ancient turbule tree. Less 3 grams of honest work, but Vivec in his later years found a better one, and so gave the secret to his people. For I have crushed a world with my left hand," he will say, "but in my right hand is how it could have won against me. Love is under my will only. The endings of the word is MCV." Now we might be sitting here and we might be wondering, what the fuck does this mean? Alright, so basically, here's the short of it. The short of it is that Vivec's mom got knocked up with Vivec, depending upon there's different. Also, there's like timelines. It's a mess, but for the sake of this, Vivec was born into a woman, and he's aging, and eventually his future fuck buddies Elma Alexia and Sotha Sil show up, and they basically curse this woman, his mom, to being pregnant for way too long. Honestly, some of this shit I don't understand what it means. I could click on. I mean, I know what a Hortator is. Hortator is Nerevar. It's Sun and Moon. He's the favored boy of Azura. He's the himbo that united the Dunmer, and also worked with the Dwemer, and might have had sex with the Dwemer king. Whatever the fuck his name was. It's something fucking stupid, like something Dwarf King, if I remember right. But anyway, I think that's a good... Yeah. I mean, it is self-insert fanfiction, so it is a whole lot of, like, esoteric mumbo-jumbo. This stuff, if I remember right, this is from that one crazed mysticism dude, Crawley or whatever, Alistair Crawley. This seems like a thing he would say. When do we get to the part about how, oh, fuck. Fuck a duck. What is it? What am I trying to think of? I can't think of it at the moment. Also, am I able to modify the stream at all? I am not. Wait, I might be able to. So I want to make sure that this is tagged as being Morrowind. Oh shit. Can I not? Can I manage? Yes. Let me manage this. I evidently cannot manage this after it has started. Wait for it. Category gaming. No. Stream settings. Game. Edit. Yes. Allow me. No. Morrowind. Yes. We're talking about Morrowind today. There. Now it's tagged as Morrowind, so people will see it as Morrowind. Fantastic. Alright. Back to it. I'm gonna start I'm gonna start Sermon 2. Here's the thing, right? I don't know why it's called the 36 Lessons of Vivec if it's also they're in sermons. Well, mind you, fun fact, I am ordained. I am in fact giving out legitimate sermons tonight. Bless up to everybody who wants to handle some milk fingers. Is milk fingers in blue? No, it isn't. I'm assuming they're penises. Let's see, glass? Yeah, glass. Oh, coral. Huh. Yeah. I was expecting glass to be fucked up in the Elder Scrolls like it is just straight up a living fucking creature. Anyway, Sermon 2. The Netchman's wife who carried the egg of Vivec within her went looking for the lands of the Induril. Along the journey, many spirits came to see her and offer instructions to her son-daughter, the future glory's invisible warrior poet of Vardenfell, Vivec. The first spirit threw his arms about her and hugged his knowledge in tight. The Netchman's wife became soaked in the incalculable effort. Why is it red? What is this open to? Nothing. Wait. Nothing. The egg was delighted and did somersaults inside of her, bowing to the five corners of the world and saying, "Thus whoever performs this holy act shall be proud and mighty among the rest." The second spirit was too aloof and acted above his station, so much that he was driven off by a headache spell. The third spirit, at Hator, came down to the Netchman's wife while she relaxed for a while under an emperor parasol. His garments were made from implications of meaning, and the egg looked at them 3 times. The first time Vivec said, "Ha! It means nothing." Mind you, this is an egg inside of a woman saying this shit. After looking a second time, he said, there might be something there after all. Finally, giving at Hator's garments a sidelong glance, he said, "Amazing! The ability to infer significance in something devoid of detail." "There is a proverb," Hator said, and then he left. As one fucking does, I guess, after saying shit to an egg baby. Also, I thought these were way fucking longer. I think I might get more than 12 done tonight. The fourth spirit came with the fifth, for they were cousins. So what, the fourth one just, like, dipped out and left their cousin behind? They could ghost touch and probed inside the egg to find its core. Some say Vivec at this point was shaped like a star with its penumbra broken off. Others, that looked like a revival of vanished forms. "From my side of the family," the first cousin said, "I bring you a series of calamities that will bring about the end of the universe." Actually, was this other one the third one? No. Okay, so these are just 2 cousins. Okay, never mind. "And from my side," the second cousin said, "I bring you all the primordial marriages that must happen within them. Each one." At this, the egg laughed. "I am given too much to bear so young. I must have been born before." And then the sixth spirit appeared, the Black Hands Mephala, who taught the Velothi at the beginning of days all the arts of sex and murder. Its burning heart melted the eyes of the Netchman's wife and took the egg from her belly with 6 cutting strokes. The egg image, however, could see into what it had been before in ancient times, when the earth still cooled, and was not blinded. It joined with the Daedroth and took its former secrets, leaving a few behind to keep the web of the world from disentangling. Then the Black Hands Mephala put the egg back into the Netchman's wife and blew on her with magic breath until the hole closed up. But the Daedroth did not give her back her eyes, saying, "God hath 3 keys, of birth, of machines, and the words between. Within this sermon the wise may find 1/2 of these keys. The ending of the words is LMCV. Now, I'm going to take a drink. We're back to what the fuck does this mean? Because how do you have 3 things and only 1/2 of them? Well, I guess we're working with portions, but let's see. the three keys: birth, machines, and the words between. Vivec isn't born yet. Vivec got C-sectioned kinda in a moment ago when his mom kinda got cut up a lot and had the egg knowledge that is Vivec taken out. The machine. I mean, my brain, of course, this could just be of birth is Almalexia because she's like a loving mother figure to the Dunmer. Mind you, a loving mother figure for people that have legalized murder. Machines is Sothasil, a man who loves Tetris and Rubik's Cubes a little too much. And the words between, Vivec talks a lot, as you can see. Like, he wrote this shit. The spirits and stuff, probably other Daedra and stuff. I don't know much of what the fuck this could be. What, incalculable effort? I don't want to search that. I don't know what's going to pop up if I search for that. But I think it's time to just smash on through to the next one. Because, gosh dang it, this is some funny stuff. But first, I'm going to check something. Okay. I'm done checking something. I am back now. I don't know if it actually moves the stream around. Because on my screen it looks fine. I have two screens, actually. Sermon 3. The Triune truly has blessed us with this sermon. Being blind, the Netchman's wife wandered into a cave on her way to the domains of House Inderell. It so happened that this cave was a Dunmeri stronghold. The Dunmer spied the egg and captured the Netchman's wife. They bound her head to foot and brought her deep within the earth. She heard one say, "Go and make a simulacrum of her and place it back on the surface, for she has something akin to what we have, and so the Velothi will covet it, and notice if she is too long away." In the darkness, the Netchman's wife felt great knives try to cut her open. When the knives did not work, the Dunmer used solid sounds. When those did not work, great heat was brought to bear. Nothing was of any use, and the egg of Vivec remained safe within her. A Dunmer said, "Nothing is of any use. We must go and misinterpret this." A little bit of backstory, a little bit of help with this sermon. Because listen, as your reverend, I gotta tell you what things mean. Solid sounds is tonal architecture. The Dunmer used the music of reality to do weird stuff, like make all their stuff last forever, basically, for the most part. Anyway, back to it. Vivec felt that his mother was afraid, and so consoled her. "The fire is mine, let it consume thee, and make a secret door. At the altar of Padhome, in the house of Boit-Hia, where we become safe and looked after." This old prayer made the Netchman's wife smile and begin such a deep sleep that when Dunmeri Atronachs returned with cornered spheres and cut her apart, she did not awake, and died peacefully. Vivec was removed from her womb and placed within a magical glass for further study. To confound his captors, he channeled his essence into love, an emotion the Dunmer knew nothing about. The egg said a long-ass sentence paragraph, so I gotta take a sippy. Love is used not only as a constituent in moods and affairs, but also as the raw material from which relationships produce hour-long exasperations, regrettably fashioned restrictions, riddles laced with affections known only to the loving couple, and looks that linger too long. Love is also an often used ingredient in some transparent verbal and non-verbal transactions where, eventually, it can sometimes be converted to a variety of true devotions, some of which yield tough, insoluble, and infusible unions. In its basic form, love supplies approximately 13 drafts of all energy that is derived from relationships. Its role and value in society at large are controversial. The Dunmer were vexed at these words and tried to hide behind their power symbols. They sent their Atronachs to remove the egg image from their cave and place it within the simulacrum they had made of Vivec's mother. I'm gonna try and make this advertisement not visible to us. No, fuck. No, God, gosh, dang it. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Well, I'll zoom back in, I guess. A Dwemer said, "We Dwemer are only aspirants to this that the Velothi have. They shall be our doom in this, and the 8 known words, Nern, Lucan, Raket, Thinder, Kinnert, Arkat, Mara, and Juno. The secret to doom is within this sermon. The ending of the words is MCV. Now, I recognize some of these as words that aren't weird, fucked up Dwemer ones. Nern, Lorcan, what is Racket? RK? Okay. Thendor? Stendar, okay. Kinnereth, RK, right? Akatosh. Okay, I guess. Mara. Juno? Julianos. Okay. When is he sometimes called Juno? When? Just into that? Okay, I guess. I feel like it's just a Dwemer thing. I guess I can go over what all this means. Yeah, he got kidnapped. His mom died. He soothed her into dying good, and then she was replaced with an android. And within that android was placed Vivec got placed back in that robot. I don't know what happened to his mom's ghost. I don't know if it fucked off or whatever. Yeah, right. Died peacefully. I don't know what happened to her. Her ghost. Maybe it's still around and well, if she died peacefully, I guess her ghost could have just moved on to her. I don't know where Boethia's followers go when they die. You know what? We can check right now. Oh wait, no, there might be titties. Never mind. There could always be titties on this fucking thing. No. I can't allow that. Alright. Next sermon. Sermon 4. I'm blasting through these. I might get through a good chunk of them tonight. Let's see. 36 divided by 2 would be like 18. I don't know if I can do 18 tonight. I might be able to. Also, sorry if you can hear like the furnace turning on. My room's next to it. Sermon 4. I need to take a drink. The simulacrum of the Netchman's wife, who carried the egg of Vivec within it, went back to looking at the lands of the Indril. Along the journey, many more spirits came to see it and offer instructions to its son-daughter, the future glorious invisible warrior poet of Vardenfell, Vivec. A troop of spirits called the Lobbyists for the Coincidence Guild appeared. Vivec understood the challenge immediately and said, "The popular notion of God kills happenstance." The head of the Lobbyists, whose name is forgotten, tried to defend the concept's existence. He said, "Saying something at the same time can be magical." Like when you say jinx and you beat the shit out of each other. Vivec knew that to retain his divinity that he must make a strong argument against luck. He said, "Is not the sudden revelation of corresponding conditions and disparate elements that gel at the moment of the coincidence one of the prerequisites to being, in fact, coincidental? Synchronicity comes out of repeated coincidences at the lowest level. Further examination shows it is the utter power of the sheer number of coincidences that leads one to the idea that synchronicity is guided by something more than chance. Therefore, synchronicity ends up invalidating the concept of the coincidental, even though they are the symptomatic signs that bring it to the surface." Also, I might be pronouncing this word wrong. I have had several concussions in my life, and mostly to my frontal lobe. So if I say some words weird, it's between that and a speech impediment that I only had 3 weeks of training to get rid of. Thus was coincidence to be destroyed the lands of the Velothi. Luck never existed again. That's right. Luck isn't a mechanic in Morrowind. Actually, it is. Vec's just a fucking hipster. Then an old bone of the earth rose up before the simulacrum of the Nishman's wife and said, "If you are to be born a ruling king of the world, you must confuse it with new words. Set me into pondering." "Very well," Vivec said. "Let me talk to you of the world, which I share with mystery and love. Who is her capital? Have you taken the scenic route of her cameo? I have, lightly, in secret, missing candles because they're on the untrue side, and run my hand along the edge of the shadow made from 103 divisions of warmth, and left no proof." At this, the old bone folded onto itself 20 times until it became akin to milk, which Vivec drank, becoming a ruling king of the world. Finally, the Chancellor of Exactitude appeared, and he was perfect to look upon from every angle. Vivec understood the challenge immediately and said, Certitude is for the puzzle box logicians and girls of white glamour who harbor it on their own time. I am a letter written in uncertainty." The Chancellor bowed his head and smiled 50 different perfect ways all at once. He pulled the astrolabe of the universe from his robe and broke it in half, handing both halves to the egg image of Vivec. Vivec laughed and said, "Yes, I know. The slave labor of the senses is as selfish as polar ice, and worsens when energies are spent on a life others regard as fortunate. To be a ruling king, I will have to suffer much that cannot be suffered, and to weigh matters that no astrolabe or compass can measure." The ending of the words is MCV. And I'm going to take another drink. What does this mean? This means that this poor egg inside of a robot is being haunted yet again. By lobbyists, no less. From the Coincidence Guild. Is it only mentioned? It's only mentioned in this. I don't know why it has its own page. I feel like it doesn't need a page, but you know what? I love the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages. It's such good knowledge. I would spend many times in class during high school reading its pages and learning so much knowledge, reading about Skyrim as it was coming out before. I played Oblivion. I might have played Morrowind before Skyrim. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, I did eventually play Morrowind on the 360, and that was decent fun, though. I think I eventually stopped because it was, like, running into major errors, like, all the time. It was just crashing and shit. Not good fun. I gotta take another drink, man. It's a good thing I started the water purifier earlier. Let's just move on to Sermon 5. Yeah, not a whole lot's actually happening that's, like, actual, like, lore history stuff. It's mostly just, Vivec making up stuff to make him seem less like, well, you see, Vivec's normal human life, well, not human, but, like, elven life before he ascended to godhood later on, was that he was a rapscallion who Nerevar found, and Vivec offered him sexual favors, or violence, or both. And that's how they met. That's the great cornerstone, great indicator for whatsoever relationship they would have going on forward. Fantastic, completely and utterly. But yeah, Sermon 5 is up next. Sermon 5. Finally, the simulacrum of the Netchman's wife became unstable. The Dwemer, in their haste, had built it shoddily, and the ashes of Red Mountain slowed its golden tendons. Before long, it fell on its knees beside the road to the lands of the Induril and pitched over, to be discovered 80 days later by a merchant caravan on its way to the capital of Veloth, Anon Elmalexia. Vivec had not been among his people all the days of his pre-life, so he stayed silent and let the Chimer in the caravan think that the simulacrum was broken and empty. A Chimeri warrior who was protecting the caravan said, Look here how the Dwemer try to fool us as ever, crafting our likenesses out of their flesh metals. We should take this to the capital and show our mother AM. She will want to see this new strategy of our enemies. But the merchant captain said, I doubt that we shall be paid well for the effort. We can make more money if we stop at Normok and sell it to the Red Wives of Dagon, who pay well for the wonders made by the deep folk. But another Chimer, who was wise in the ways of prophecy, looked on the simulacrum with disquietude. Was I not hired on to help you seek the best of fortunes? I say you should listen to your warrior then, and take this thing to AM. For though manufactured by our enemies, there is something in it that will become sacred, or has been already. The merchant captain took pause then, and looked on the simulacrum of the Netchman's wife, and, though he heeded always the advice of his seers, could do no more than think of the profits to be made of Normok. He thought mainly of the Red Wives' form of recompense, which was four-cornered and good-wounded, a belly magic known nowhere else under the moons. His lust made him deny AM his mother. He gave order to change course for Normok. It's the House of Troubles. Before the caravan could get underway again, the Chimeri warrior who counseled a passage to the capital threw his money to the merchant captain and said, I will pay you thus for the simulacrum and warn you. War is coming with the shaggy men of the north, and I will not have my mother AM at uneven odds with one enemy while tending to another. Nerevar, the merchant captain said, this is not enough. I am triune in my own way, but I follow the road of my body and demand more. Is Nerevar gonna have to fuck him to get out of this problem? Oh, but then Vivec could not remain silent anymore and said into Nerevar's head these words. You can hear the words, so run away. Come, Hortator, unfold into a clear unknown. Stay quiet until you've slept in the yesterday, and say no elegies for the melting stone. So Nerevar slew the merchant captain and took the caravan for his own. The ending of the words is Elm CV. Now shit's getting interesting. Nerevar didn't have to fuck a guy to get what he wanted. He just had to murder him. And that is the Dunmeri way. You kill people and you take their shit. They're all murder hobos, living together as one society. We live in a society, said Nerevar, and then Vivec agreed. I'm gonna check something real quick. And I'm gonna come right back to it. I'm gonna take another sippy. Sippy dippy. Half the reason why I'm doing this is because for the big video eventually I'll be doing on Morrowind, I'm gonna be including parts of this in like the background of a segment. It's gonna be pretty fun. Oh, we have to move on from the belly magics though to Sermon 6. You have discovered the 6th sermon of Vivec, which was hidden in the words that came next to the Hortator. There is an aeon within itself that when unraveled becomes the first sentence of the world. Mephala and Azura are the twin gates of tradition, and Boethia is the secret flame. The sun shall be eaten by lions, which cannot be found yet in Veloth. 6 are the vests and garments worn by the suppositions of men. Proceed only with the simplest terms, for all others are enemies and will confuse you. 6 are the formulas to heaven by violence, one that you have learned by studying these words. The Father is a machine and the mouth of a machine. His only mystery is an invitation to elaborate further. You know what? Let's look at the walking ways really quick. Let's see if there's anything fun here. I'm glad there aren't titties. Oh, okay, they're just ways of reaching apotheosis. Okay. I thought it was a Vivec specific thing. Vivec has a lot of specific things, as this entire religious text can tell you. The mother is active and clawed like a nixhound, yet she is the holiest of those that reclaim their days. The son is myself, Vec, and I am unto thee. 6, 9, and the rest that come after, glorious and sympathetic, without borders, utmost in the perfections of this world and the others. Sword and symbol, pale like gold. There is a fourth kind of philosophy that uses nothing but misbelief. For by the sword I mean the sensible, for by the word I mean the dead. I am Vec, your protector and the protector of Red Mountain until the end of days, which are numbered 3333. Below me is the savage, which we needed to remove ourselves from the Dunmer. Above me is a challenge, which bathes itself in fire and the essence of a god. Through me you are desired, unlike the prophets that have borne your name before. 6 are the walking ways, from enigma to enemy to teacher. Boethia and Azura are the principles of the universal plot, which is begetting, which is creation, and Mephala makes of it an art form. For by the sword I mean the first night, for by the word I mean the dead. There will be a splendor in your name when it is said to be true. 6 are the guardians of Veloth, 3 before, and they are born again, and they will test you until you have the proper tendencies of the hero. There is a world that is sleeping, and you must guard against it. For by the sword I mean the dual nature, for by the word I mean animal life, for by the sword I mean preceded by a sigh, for by the word I mean preceded by a wolf. The ending of the words is LMCV. I'm not gonna lie. Half of this is a lot of mystical bullshit. I mean, we could look into some of these methods of reaching apotheosis, which is reaching godhood, right? Let's see. Yeah, the Numidium is a fucked up way to do it. The Endeavor. If you are like a dope guy, you can achieve cool stuff. The Prolix Tower. The fuck is this shit? Yeah, I'm not built for that. Ugh. Anyway, the father is Sothasil, the mother is Almalexia, the son is, of course, Vivec, as is stated here. It's, I don't know, well, let's see, 3333. I might be able to make sense of this bullshit. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Let's see, when are you set? 3E427. Yeah, that doesn't add up. That doesn't make any numbers that make sense. Back to it, I guess. Sermon 7. As the caravan of Nerevar now made for the capital of Veloth, Anana Malexia, there came great rumblings from the Oblivion. Just the Oblivion? Okay. A duke among scamps wandered into the House of Troubles, pausing before each scripture door to pay his respects, until finally he was met by the major domo of Mehrunes Dagon. The Duke of Scamp said, I was summoned by Lord Dagon, master of the foul waters and fire, and I have brought the penance of my 7 legions. The major domo, whose head was a bubble of foul water and fire, bowed low, so that the head of the Duke of Scamps became enclosed in his own. Sweet Jesus, I need a drink again. I'm just going to use my normal voice. That does a number on my vocal cords. He saw the first pennant, which commanded a legion of grim warriors who could die at least twice. Who are these dudes? Okay, that comes up later, I guess. He saw the second pennant, which commanded a legion of winged bulls and the Emperor of Color that rode upon each. Okay, so the legion? This would be Morehouse. Yep, Morehouse. And this is just the Emperor, right? The Empire. The third, he saw the third pennant, which commanded a legion of inverted gorgons, great snakes whose scales were the faces of men. Oh, okay. So a gorgon's like a snake, like a dude that's like a snake, or I guess it's. How the fuck would you even put it? It's a snake person, but the great snakes in this are the Sayashi, or however you would pronounce this. And they're dudes that are snake-like. He saw the fourth pennant, which commanded a legion of double-crossed lovers. He saw the fifth pennant, which commanded a legion of jumping wounds looking to hop onto a victim. He saw the sixth pennant, which commanded a legion of abridged planets, which are the dead gods. Yeah. He saw the seventh pennant, which commanded a legion of armored winning moves. To which the major domo said, Duke Kuuta, your legions, while mighty, are not enough to destroy Nerevar or the Triune Way. Look upon the Hortator, and see the wisdom he takes to wife. Is that just the fucking scamp's name? Yeah. Huh. Okay. Is it from Battlespire? Yeah, there's this is BS there. And they looked into the middle world and saw, evaporating in the throng of thunder, of red war and chitin men, where destines take him further from our ways, the heat that we have wanted, and pray they still remember, where destines clothed the distance, glad in the golden east, and that we saw it now, instead of the war and repair, of the oblivious fracture, a curse on the Hortator, and 2 more on his hands. And the Duke of Scamp saw the palms of the Hortator, upon which the egg had written these words of power, Gartok Padom, Gartok Padom. The ending of the words is MCV. I'm gonna pick up the pace a little bit since, actually, no, yeah, I'm on 8. It's only been 45 minutes, and I spent the first bit of the stream messing around because I had to get things set up. Gonna take another drink. Alright. On to Sermon 8. Let me check something real quick. Okay. Back to reading. I'm gonna crack my fingers really quick. Hopefully the mic doesn't pick it up too loudly. Alright. Had to do some stretches. Alright, Sermon 8. And presently Nerevar and Vivec were within sight of the capital, and the four corners of the House of Troubles knew that it was not time to contest them. The caravan musicians made a great song of entrance, and the 11 gates of the morning hold were thrown wide. AM was accompanied by her husband State, a flickering image that was channeled to her ever-changing female need. Around her were the Shouts, a guild now forgotten, who carried with them the whims of the people, for the Vlothi, then, were still mostly good at heart. I'm going to open that another we'll get to that in a bit. The Shouts were the counselors of AM and the country, though they sometimes quarreled and needed Set to ring them into usefulness. AM approached Nerevar, who was by now adorned in the flags of House Indoril. He gifted her with the simulacrum of the Nichman's wife and the egg Vivec inside. I'm going to really quickly go back to this bit, right? Her husband's state, a flickering image that was channeled to her ever-changing female need. Now, does this mean that she just like changes out husbands really fucking quickly? That's kind of one reading for it. Vivec is really horny, and seemingly Almalexia is also pretty horny. Sotha still is less horny, but he still has sex with them, at the very least Almalexia. So this all ties into what the video on Morrowind's going to be about, which is the polycule that Nerevar had formed around him, and unfortunately collapses, as all great things do. We'll get to the Shouts. You know, let's look at the Shouts right now. Oh, okay. They just gave advice. Okay. Ba-ba-ba. AM said to Nerevar, Set, who is Azura, has revealed that war is come, and that the Hortator that shall deliver us will approach with a solution, walking by his side. Nerevar said, I have traveled out of my way to warn you of the deceit of our enemies, the Dwemer, but I have learned much on the journey and have changed my mind. This Netchman's wife you see at my side is a sword and a symbol, and there is prophecy inside. It tells me that, like it, we must for a while be like he is, and as a people, cloaked in our former enemies, and to use their machines without shame. At which Vivec spoke aloud, Boethia, who is you, wore the skin of Trinimek, to cleanse the faults of Veloth, my queen, and so it should be again. This is the walking way of the glorious. So a little bit of backstory in case they don't change this. I didn't read ahead. Boethia ate Trinimek, like, in Boethia's tummy, and then shat him out, and that became, the orc god. Malakath, that's it. Yep. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think Trinimek was Trinimek trying to make sure that the Dunmer couldn't fucking leave. Man, this is way too much for me to speed read. Let's just go with that's what I think happened. I think what happened was Trinimek was supposed to stop the Chimer from leaving. Or I guess at the time they were just like the Velothi or whatever, like Veloth's fucking followers. And yeah, Trinimek got eaten and shat out. Not a very pro-gamer move, honestly. Back to it, though. Set appeared out of a cloud of iron vapor, and his minions made of their blood a chair. He sat beside AM and looked on the rebirth of mastery. Vivec said to them, his triune, My rituals and ordeals, and all of the rhymes within, use no other motive than the revelation of my skin. AM said, Am a sate a vec, we are delivered and made whole. The diamond of the black hands is uncovered. Set said, Wherever so he treads, there is invisible scripture, to which the shouts were silent in sudden reading. Vivec then reached out from the egg, all his limbs and features, merging with the simulacrum of his mother, gilled and blended in all the arts of the star-wounded East, under water and in fire, and in metal and in ash, 6 times the wise, and he became the union of male and female, the magic hermaphrodite, the martial axiom, the sex death of language, and unique in all the middle world. He said, "Let us now guide the hands of the Hortator in war and its aftermath, for we go different, and in thunder. This is our destiny." The ending of the words is LMCV. I need to take another drink, man. Holy shit. Okay. So we got the tribunal. They're all together now. Vivec made himself out of his the cyborg, the android mom. That's just more the Red Mountain. Okay. I thought the star wounded. Well, I guess because Red Mountain is formed by the heart of Lorcan, chucked down after his trial, and that formed the fucking Red Mountain, which is fantastic, you know. So I guess Star Wounded East is a way to describe Red Mountain. Because I guess a heart moving really quickly from the atmosphere and crashing down and forming a fucking mountain volcano. That is very, you know. Was the volcano always there though? Let me double check. Let me double check on this shit. Where's the lore page? There it is. Main lore article. There shouldn't be any tits here. Okay, so it was formed by the heart being tossed down. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, they're all together now. Vivec's there, Alexia's there, so the Sill's there. Nerevar is here too. Actually. So is Nerevar joined House Indoril at some point in here? Or at the very least, they're he's cool. Because he eventually does join House Indoril. Yeah, I guess it's time to move on to the next one. I gotta take another drink, though. I'm mad thirsty. You know what? I'll put on some music. Yeah. Let's see. How does this sound? Wait, no. I need the audio to be clear for the eventual video. Never mind. Fuck. I fucked it all up. Oh, goof and gaff, and I did a goof. Alright, back to reading, though. Alright. Yep, there we go. Alright, Sermon 9. Then came the war with the Northern Men, also known as the Shaggy Men. Right? Yeah, I already read that. Okay. Where Vivec did guide the Hortator into swift and tricky union with the Dwemer. The greatest demon chieftains of the frigid West were those below, 5 in unholy number. I think this is no, this is just dense. Hoega, the mouth of mud. Oh, it's Hogue Merkiller. Fantastic. Who appears a great bearded king, had the powers of marshalling and breathing the earth. On the battlefields, this demon would often be seen on the sidelines, eating the soil ferociously. When his men fell, Huega would fill their bodies back with it, whereupon they would rise again and fight, albeit slower. He had a secret name, Fenja, and destroyed 17 Chimeri villages and 2 Dwemer strongholds before being turned away. Dude was a mud-chugging bitch. Chimua, the Running Hunger. Actually, why does this guy get to have a fucking article about him? Well, dude was a straight up a high king. What would be Hoga? Is it just Hoga? Or Hoega? Either way is funny. Let's see. Yeah. Where the fuck does this all come from? We're still of the righteous. Okay, I guess he is a more lore relevant dude. The Mudsucker Man. Alright, Kimua, the Running Hunger, who appeared as a mounted soldier with full helm, and had the powers of heart roaring and of sky sickening. He ate the Chimeri hero, Dres Kazumeti, sending the spirit back to the Hortator as an assassin. So he just, like, straight up killed the dude. Well, he ate him, right? He ate him and sent the ghost back to kill him. Like some sort of weird... A lot of things are like that, right? You kill your enemy and use their soul to fight for you. Sometimes called First Blighter, Kimua could give Cloud stomach aches and turn the reign of Veloth into bile. He destroyed 6 Chimeri villages before he was slain by Vivec and the Hortator. Bog, the Two-Tongued, who appeared as a great bearded king, had the powers of surety and form change. His raiders were small in number, but ran amok in the West Hinterlands, killing many Velothi trappers and scouts. He fell in a great debate with Vivec, for the warrior poet alone could understand the northern man's two-layered speech, though Elm CV had to remain invisible during the argument. So they were just rap battling? And he fucking died from failing a rap battle. Imagine rap battling invisible people. Man. Actually, that's a good fucking point. In D&D 5e, can you talk while invisible and that doesn't get rid of your invisibility? Could you be a bard who goes invisible and just fucking rap battles people? It's gotta be a thing, right? It's gotta be. Barfok, the Maid of Plains, who appeared as a winged human with lick-encrusted spear, had the powers of event denouement. Battles fought against her would always end in a victory for Barfok because she could shape outcomes by singing. Oh, was she a tongue? That's what they're called, right? They're called tongues. Right? Mouths? No. No, shit, fuck. The tongues, right? Tongues. I swear I'm not crazy. No, fuck. Yeah. The tongues use shouts, right? Totally. Yes. I knew I wasn't just making shit the fuck up. Oh, where the fuck? Oh, made of planes. The lichen-crusted spear. Because Vivec's spear is eventually a penis. So I'm like, does this... Is she good at sucking? Anyway, 4 Chimeri villages and 2 more Dunmeri strongholds were destroyed by her decision enforcement. Vivec had to stuff her mouth with his milk finger to keep her from singing Veloth into ruin. Alright. I'm gonna Google it on my phone so that in case something pops up, I'm gonna look up milk fingers. Milk fingers. Okay, so in a very soon sermon, he calls his spear, which is also a penis, his milk taker. So apparently he uses his penis spear to stab into people's mouths and out like the back of their skull or something. Which I don't like that he does that. Oh, Ysmir. Fucking Wolfarth. Were you the big bitch? Let's see. Oh, sweet Jesus, there's so much fucking lore I could do. Man, my entire channel could have been fucking Elder Scrolls lore being explained by an unhinged fucker like me. What the fuck is this shit? Okay, I can't keep distracting myself with the deep lore. With the fun shit. The evil god Orke, the old knocker himself. Anyway, Ysmir, the Dragon of the North, who always appears as a great bearded king, had powers innumerable and echoing. He was grim and dark and the most silent of the invading chieftains, though when he spoke, villages were uplifted and thrown into the sea. The Hortator fought him unarmed, grabbing the dragon's roars by hand until Ysmir's power throat bled. These roars were given to Vivec to bind into an ebony listening frame, which the warrior poet placed on Ymir's face and ears to drive him mad and drive him away. So he put a fucking... The fuck is a listening frame? Please don't be a BDSM tool. Yeah, that's not fucking... I'm assuming it's a muzzle. The coming forth and the driving away brings all things around. What I shall say next is unpleasant to record. Her memora altadune, a altadune. The ending of the words is LMCV. Yeah, so they are able to fight back against Nords. Did the Dwemer do anything in this fucking chapter? It mentions that they got attacked too. I don't think they did much here. But then again, it's the Dunmer writing this shit, so they're probably playing their own side up more, making themselves look better. Alright, back to the reading process. Sermon 10. I'm gonna drink another sippy. I'll probably get up to like 18 tonight and stop. You've discovered the 10th sermon of Vivec, which was hidden in the words that came in the aftermath of the Hortator. The evoker shall raise his left hand, empty and open, to indicate he needs no weapons of his own. The coming forth is always hidden, so the evoker is always invisible, or better, in the skin of his enemies. The eyelid of the kingdom shall fill 36 folios, but the eye shall read the world. By this the hortator needs me to understand. The sword is an impatient signature. Write no contracts on the dead. Vivec says unto the hortator, remember the words of Buit he ah. We pledge ourselves to you, the frame maker, the scarab, a world for us to love you in, a cloak of dirt to cherish, betrayed by your ancestors when you were not even looking. Hoary Magnus and his ventured opinions cannot sway the understated, a trick worthy of the always satisfied. A short season of towers, a run-down absolution. And what is this? What is this but fire under your eyelid? Shift ye in your skin, I say to the Trinmec eaters. Pitch your voices into the color of bruise. Divide ye like your enemies, in houses, and lay your laws in set sequence from the center. Again, like the enemy corners of the house of troubles, and see yourself thence as timber, or mudslats, or sheets of resin. Then do not divide, for yet is the stride of Sethisit. Okay, let's sit this. Quicker than the rush of enemies, and he will sunder the whole for the sake of a shingle. For we go different, and in thunder. Sethisit is the start of all true houses, built against stasis and lazy slaves, turned from your predilections, broken like false maps. Move and move like this. Quicken against false fathers, mothers left in corners, weeping for glass and rain. Stasis asks merely for nothing, for itself, which is nothing, as you were in the 8 everlasting imperfections. Vivec says unto the hortator, remember the words of Vivec. Understand that Sethisit still travels. Vivec says unto the hortator, remember the words of Vivec. In a phosphorant mirror of the sky, and I'm just going to say the things he told him to say because I don't want to keep repeating the same shit. Drowned and smiling, intermittent hopes enough to answer all the things not yet queried. The ending of the words is LMCV. Alright. This is another Vivec saying mystical bullshit thing. I need to stand up so my legs have blood in them. And I can do an itch. Alright. 36 folios, 36 lessons of Vivec. Now, part of this is that Vivec is writing to Nerevar, but by the time he wrote this, I'm pretty sure, yeah, he was dead. He, in part, also might be writing this to us, the Nerevarine from Morrowind, and also potentially us, the player. This is also, as I've said before, kind of the Bible for the Dunmer people. I'm going to take another drink. I might need to refill pretty soon. Alright. Getting situated. Actually, yeah, on Monday I'm going to be recording during the day. I'm going to be recording with my cousin. We're going to be doing a Creatures of Morrowind video. So that's going to be pretty fun. Sermon 11. These were the days of Resdania, when Chimer and Dwemer lived under the wise and benevolent rule of the LMCV, and their champion, the Hortator, when the gods of Veloth would retreat onto their own, to mold the cosmos and other matters, the Hortator would at times become confused. Vivec would always be there to advise him, and this is the first of the 3 lessons of ruling kings. The waking world is the amnesia of dream. All motifs can be mortally wounded. Once slain, themes turn into the structure of future nostalgia. Do not abuse your powers, or they will lead you astray. They will leave you like rebellious daughters. They will lose their virtue. They will become lost and resentful, and finally pregnant with the seed of folly. Soon you will be the grandparent of a broken state. You will be mocked. You will fall apart like a stone that recalls that it is really water. Keep nothing in your house that is neither needed or beautiful. Ordeals you should face unimpeded by the world of restriction. The splendor of stars is AM's domain. The selfishness of the sea is Set's. I rule the middle air. All else is earth and under your temporal command. There is no bone that cannot be broken except for the heart bone. You will see it twice in your lifetimes. Take what you can the first time and let us do the rest. There's no true symbolism of the center. The Charmot will believe there is. He will feel that he can cause years of exuberance from sitting in the sacred, when really no one can leave that state and cause anything more but strife. There is once more the case of the symbolic and barren. The true prince that is cursed and demonized will be adored at last with full hearts. According to the codes of Mephala, there can be no official art, only fixation points of complexity that will arise from the awe of the people given enough time. This is a secret that hides another, and impersonal survival is not the way of the ruling king. Embrace the art of the people and marry it, and by that I mean secretly have it murdered. I need to take another drink. Holy shit. The ruling king that sees another is equivalent. Let me read that again. The ruling king that sees in another his equivalent rules nothing. The secret of weapons is this: they are the mercy seat. The secret of language is this: it is immobile. The ruling king is armored head to toe in brilliant flame. He is redeemed by each act he undertakes. His death is only a diagram back to the waking world. He sleeps the second way. The Charmot is his double, and therefore you wonder if you rule nothing. Hortator and Charmot, 1 and 1, 11, an inelegant number. Which of the ones is more important? Could you ever tell if they switched places? I can, and that is why you will need me. According to the codes of Mephala, there is no difference between the theorist and the terrorist. Even the most cherished desire disappears in their hands. This is why Mephala has black hands. Bring both of yours to every argument. The one-handed king finds no remedy. When you approach God, however, cut both of them off. God has no need of theory, and he is armored head to toe in terror. Okay, so there's some interesting stuff in this one. So, Vivec is giving some info to Nerevar, who, while rejecting Vivec's offers for sloppy toffee, in one of the short stories about how they found each other, he is slopping upon his toffee some much needed information. Basically, you can't be too weak you can't be, if you fuck up, it's just wait, let me quickly reread this in my brain. as the roommate's cat breaks into my room and scares me a little bit. What up, Milo? Go under the bed, baby. He likes to sleep under my bed. Alright. I won't lie. Some of this is going beyond me at the moment. But basically it's like, because the two hands thing, right, is you can be soft or you can be hard. Being too much of either can really fuck you over. Part of this is also Vivec being like, yeah, I'm gonna have to kill you, homeboy, but you're gonna come back. And can you blame it all on me? And with that, I think it's about time to move on to the next one. Sermon 12. As the Hortator pondered the first lesson of ruling kings, Vivec wandered into the morning hold and found that AM was with a pair of lovers. Set had divided himself again. Even in their official Bible, they're fucking. Vivec then leapt through into their likenesses to observe, but he gained no secrets that he did not already know. He left a few of his own behind to make the journey worthwhile. So... AM's getting double-teamed by Set, who split himself in half, and... Vivec's watching somehow, and he left something behind. He might also be fucking, or he left data inside of them? I don't know if there's a difference for when you're a god. That shit's a little funky sometimes, honestly. Being a god and all that. Next bit, I'm checking the stream and stuff. Then Vivec left the capital of Veloth and wandered far into the ash. He found a span of badlands to practice his giant... Oh yeah, this is one of the wild ones. He made of his feet a less dense material than the divine to keep from falling waist deep into the earth. At this point, the first corner of the House of Troubles, the Prince Molag Bal, made his presence known. Vivec looked upon the King of Rape and said, "How very beautiful you are, that you do not join us." And Molag Bal crushed the warrior poet's feet, which were not invulnerable, and had legions cleave them off. Mighty fires from the beginning place were brought like nets to hold Vivec, and he let them. I need to take a drink. Man, I realized, I don't think I drank much today. That might be why I'm parched. I would prefer, he said, some kind of ceremony if we are to be married. And the legions that took the feet were summoned again in order to begin a banquet. Pomegranates sprang from the Badlands and tents were raised. A throng of Velothi mystics came, reading the passages of the severed feet in the ground and weeping until the scriptures were wet. "We must love each other briefly," Vivec said, "if at all. I am needed to counsel the Hortator in more important matters because the Dunmeri high priests stir up trouble. You may have my head for an hour." Molag Bal rose up and extended 6 arms to show his worth. They were decorated in runes of seduction and its reverse. They were decorated in the anointed calendars of longer worlds. When he spoke, mating monsters fell out. "Where must it go?" he said. "I told you," Vivec said. "I am meant to be the teacher of the king of the earth. Altadun Gartak Badom." With these magic words, the king of rape added another. Chim, which is the secret syllable of royalty. Vivec had what he needed from the Daedroth, and so married him that day. In the hour that Bal had his head, the king of rape asked for proof of love. Vivec spoke 2 poems to show him such, but only the first is known. "I'm not sure how much glass it took to make your hair. Twice as much, I am sure, as the oceans have to share." Hell, my sweet, is a fiction written by those who tell the truth. My mouth is skilled at lying, and its alibi a tooth. And then they fucked. The sons and daughters of Vivec and Moleg Bal number in the thousands. The name of the mightiest is a string of power. Golga Mor Jill. Hayet I whom. The ending of the words is MCV. Now this is one of the sermons I was really excited about getting to, because this is the one where he bangs Moleg Bal and his giant feet do weird stuff. I don't even think this is the one where he summons his giant feet to work in the fields. Or is that the one where he like becomes a pig man and like fucking gremlinizes a mud field? I can't remember. Anyway, they banged a lot. They fucked and they made babies. And they made thousands of babies. Though some of the lore says that the Daedra can't make new shit, so it's just like, I don't know. But then again, Vivec is equipped to give birth. So, that might be, like, a loophole. Sermon 13! These were the days of Resdania, when Keimer and Dwemer lived under the wise and benevolent rule of the MCV and their champion, the Hortator. When the gods of Veloth would retreat unto their own, to mold the cosmos and the other matters, the Hortator would at times become confused. Vivec would always be there to advise him, and this is the second of the 3 lessons of ruling kings. Just wait, I am dealing with there is a singular fly in this room, and it wants to kill me. It is winter, yet there is a singular fly. Alright, the fly has been dealt with. What does this mean? Alright. The secret syllable of royalty is this. You must learn this elsewhere. And it's Chim. Or Kim. Some people say Kim. Some people say Chim. Chim is funnier. Chim Chim Churi. The temporal myth is man. The magical cross is an integration of the worth of mortals at the expense of their spirits. Surround it with the triangle and you begin to see the triune house. It becomes divided into corners, which are ruled by our brethren, the 4 corners. Baal, Dagon, Malak, Sheog, which are Moleg Bal, Mayron's Dagon, Malakath, and Sheogorath. Rotate the triangle, and you pierce the heart of the beginning place. The foul lie, the testament of the irrefutable for a span. Above them all is the horizon, where only one stands, though no one stands there yet. It is proof of the new. It is the promise of the wise. Unfold the whole, and what you have is a star, which is not my domain, but not entirely outside my judgment. The grand design takes flight. It is transformed not only into a star, but a hornet. The center cannot hold. It becomes devoid of lines and points. It becomes devoid of anything, and so becomes a receptacle. This is its usefulness at the end. This is its promise. The sword is the cross, and MCV is the triune house around it. If there is to be an end, I must be removed. The ruling king must know this, and I will test him. I will murder him time and again until he knows this. I am the defender of the last and the last. To remove me is to refill the heart that lays dormant at the center that cannot hold. I am the sword, I am the star, set the mechanism that allows the transformation of the world. Ours is the duty to keep the promise from being filled with Black Sea. Ours is the duty to keep the compromise from being filled with Black Sea. Now I want to come back here, right, before we move on. Alright, so. For all of this to end, he has to be removed from power eventually. The ruling king must know this. So basically, he's already admitting he's got to kill Nerevar over and over and over again. Which gives me an idea. Because there's going to be musical numbers. I still need to decide a good songs for Almalexia and Soldasil. But I have one for Dagoth I might have one for the Dwarf King. I'm not sure. The Dwarf King's harder to do because he's not in the game. Technically. Back to this, though. The Sharmot sleeps at the center. He cannot bear to see it removed. The world of reference. This is the folly of the false dreamer. This is the amnesia of dream, or its power, or its circumvention. This is the weaker magic, and it is barbed in venom. This is why I say the secret to swords is the mercy seat. It is my throne. I am become the voice of Elm CV. The world will know me more than my sister and brother. I am the psychopomp. I am the killer of the weeds of Veloth. Veloth is the center that cannot hold. AM is the plot. Set is the ending. I am the enigma that must be removed. These are why my words are armed to the teeth. The ruling king is to stand against me and then before me. He is to learn from my punishment. I will mark him to know. He is to come as male or female. I am the form he must acquire, because a ruling king that sees in another his equivalent rules nothing. This is what was said to the Hortator when Vivec was not whole. The ending of the words is Elm CV. There's a lot of shit in here. Okay. AM and Soldasil don't do a whole lot of the whole... Vivec is the face, right? He is the face of the tribunal. He is the one that wrote their Bible, essentially. He has the big fuck-off city, which is dedicated towards keeping an eye on Dagoth-Ur. Almalexia may be a city and a goddess of her own that resides within the city. But I need to take another drink. That is the last of the water that I have. I need to get some more water shortly. But he is the one that like does shit. He is the one with the trained killers who deal with problems. He's got his buoyant armigers, a bunch of like twinks and shit that have sex with him, and they wear glass armor and they kill demons and shit. Basically, they're pretty cool. He is basically mentioning that Morrowind as it is cannot withstand its existence. AM, who is Almalexia, is gonna pull some bullshit. Set, he's gonna get got. Oh, yeah, I guess spoilers for a game that's older than one of my roommates. But, basically, he's saying that he needs to test Nerevar in Nerevar's reincarnations. And that's why he's going to persecute the Nerevarine. There's so many things that can mean more than one thing. Like, he is to learn from my punishment. Right. The he, that could be that could be Nerevar. But it could be the future sense of the Nerevarine. But Nerevarine can be of any, sex or gender. Basically, but within them is still the idea, the concept of Nerevar. the punishment in this, is that punishment as in the persecution that occurs to the Nerevarine, the punishment that can be doled out by Vivec, or is it punishment as in learning from what Vivec had to endure? So yeah, moving on into Sermon 14. Vivec lay with Molag Bal for 80 days and ate, though headless. In that time, the prince placed the warrior poet's feet back and filled them with the blood of Daedra. In this way, Vivec's giant form remained forever harmless to good earth. The pomegranate banquet brought many spirits back from the dead, so the sons and daughters of the Union had much to eat besides fruit. The Duke of Scamps came while the banquet was still underway, and Molag Bal looked on the 7 penance with anger. The King of Rape had become necessary and therefore troubled for the rest of time. His legions and Kautas fell into open war, but the children of Molag Bal and Vivec were too elaborate in power and form. The Duke of Scamps therefore became a lesser being, as did all of his own children. Molag Bal said to them, "You are the sons of liars, dogs, and wolf-headed women." They've become useless to summon ever since. The Holy One returned at last, Vec, golden with wisdom. His head found its body had been tenderly used. He mentioned this to Molag Bal, who told him that he should thank the barons of Move like this, for I have yet to learn how to refine my rapture. My love is accidentally shaped like a spear. So Vivec, who had a grain of AM's mercy, set about to teach Molag Bal in the ways of belly magic. They took their spears out and compared them. Vivec bit new words onto the King of Rapes so that it might give more than ruin to the uninitiated. This has since become a forbidden ritual, though people still practice it in secret. Man, he's giving him the gluck. Here's why. The Velothi and demons and monsters that were watching all took out their own spears. There was much biting, and the earth became wet. And this was the last laugh of Molag Bal. Watch, as the earth shall crack, heavy with so much power, that should have been forever unalike. Then, that stretch of badlands that had been the site of the marriage fragmented and threw fire, and a race that is no more, but that was terrible at the time to behold, came forth. Born of the biters, that is all they did, and they ran amok across the lands of Veloth, and even to the shores of Red Mountain. I'm gonna see if there's any bits of water left in my drink. Oh, there's a sip. This shit. Vivec made of a spear a more terrible thing, from a secret he had bidden off from the King of Rape. And so he sent Molag Bal tumbling into the crack of the biters, and swore forever that he would not deem the king beautiful ever again. Vivec wept as he slew all those around him with his terrible new spear. He named it Muatra, which is milk taker, and even the Chimeri mystics knew his fury. Anyone struck by Vivec at this time turned barren and withered into bone shapes. The path of bones became a sentence for the stars to read, and the heavens have never known children since. Vivec hunted down the biters one by one, and all of their progeny, and he killed them by means of the 9 apertures, and the wise still hide theirs from Muatra. The ending of the words is LMCV. Oh. Alright, I need to grab something to drink. I will be right back, and thankfully, it's easier to do this. I don't gotta worry about the screen messing up because of the alt-tabbing. Whoop! There we go. Enjoy some music as I get some water. I'll be right back. I am returned. Alright, so with this sermon, Vivec ended his horrible, violent orgy with Moleg Ball. And it was not ballin' in any stretch of the imagination. It kind of sucked, actually. So, with that out of the way, we're gonna move on to... Oh, fuck. I'm gonna take a drink before I start reading that. I'm gonna have to put on a voice for that. That's some Dagoth bullshit. Sweet and Haribo. Alright, let's get to it. Okay. And as always, if you got any questions, I'll answer them in the chat thing. In fact, I'm gonna double check and make sure that things are going good. Let's see. Yeah. I'm always just worried that the chat thing isn't connected properly. But we are on to Sermon 15. Oh, I need to get a little bit closer. Or can the mic stretch a little bit further? Oh, it can. It totally can. Oh, fuck yeah. I can just make it stretch closer to me. I don't gotta be any closer. Fuck yeah. I can put my legs up a little bit. Yeah, this is great. Alright. Sermon 15. These were the days of Resdania, when Keimer and Dwemer lived under the wise and benevolent rule of the MCV, and their champion, the Hortator. Excuse me. Holy shit. When the gods of Veloth would retreat unto their own, to mold the cosmos and other matters, the Hortator would at times become confused. Vivec would always be there to advise him, and this is the third of the 3 lessons of ruling kings. I kind of want a 4th one. The ruling king will remove me, his maker. This is the way of all children. His greatest enemy is the Sharmot, who is the false dreamer. You or he is the Shingle Hortator. Beware the wrong walking path. Beware the crimes of benevolence. Behold him by his words. I am the Sharmot. I am older than music. What I bring is light. What I bring is a star. What I bring is an ancient sea. When you sleep, you see me, dancing at the core. It is not a blight. It is my house. I put a star into the world's mouth to murder it. Tear down the pylons. My blind fish swim in the new phlogiston. Tear down the pylons. My deaf moons sing and burn and orbit me. I am older than music. What I bring is light. What I bring is a star. What I bring is an ancient sea. You alone, though you come again and again, can unmake him. Whether I allow it is within my wisdom. Go unarmed into his den with these words of power. E gartok patom kiem e altadun, or do not. The temporal myth is man. Reach heaven by violence. This magic I give to you. The world you will rule is only an intermittent hope, and you must be the letter written in uncertainty. The ending of the words is LMCV. Alright. This one's also pretty interesting. The shingle thing was mentioned before, but that was like half an hour ago. I don't know where to dig for it. Anyway, there's some interesting stuff here, right? So, the Sharmot, Dagoth our home skizzle, who gazed upon the heart. Oh, fuck a duck. I forgot to Fuck, I forgot to put it back to this. God damn it. Oh, fuck me, Sally, sideways. Jesus Christ, I forgot to put the words back up on screen. I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah, this is the shit that I was reading out. Just a bunch of fucking bullshit from some crazy fucking shirtless crackhead. Alright, let me back up into this shit. Okay, so, Dagoth, shirtless, big muscle-bound dude. He's been gestating and shit for a while, thousands of years, comes back, and then he starts, spreading, tumors and shit. Anyway, that guy. He's the Sharmot. Music is integral to the Elder Scrolls. As I explained earlier, there's tonal architecture practiced by the Dwemer. Earth tones and other bullshit. He brings upon you light and a star. That's some other stuff. The ancient sea, and that could be tied to the gestation period in which he was. Basically, he didn't reach true enlightenment. He understood his place in the universe and existence, which is within the Godhead, because the setting of the Elder Scrolls is within the dream of some fucking sleeping bitch. But he went crazy instead of not becoming crazy, which is what you're supposed to do, which is what Vivec did. He's trying to claim that the shit he's brought is not a blight. It totally is a blight, though. The reason I was guffawing and shit was because, out of context, it's not a blight. It is my house. It's just really fucking funny. But his house Dagoth, his clan, right, is the upper members, the other Dagoths, because you meet the other Dagoths, because he's Dagoth as in the the being the start, the founder or whatever, the example sort of thing. And there's other ones like what are some other Dagoth names? Yeah, like Indus, Gilvoth, Odros, Uthal, Vemin. And Dagoth Ur's name was originally sorry about that. Vormin, wasn't it? Vorin, that's it. Yeah, look at this fucking guy. This is the guy that's like shouting about his fucking house. This fucking guy, he's ripped his shit, and he's like, "Sweet Nerevar, come and we'll party hardy, and we'll tell the Triune that they're not allowed because they don't like our relationship together." The world's like there's so much shit that this could be. It probably does mean stuff more concretely. But I'm in a dimension of my own right now. There's just so much fun stuff. The music, yet it comes back. So I'm gonna take a drink. Sermon 16. Also, mind you, anybody who's still, watching and shit, I am ordained, which makes this an actual fucking sermon, technically. Like, if you really want to get technical about it, this is in fact, these are actual sermons being read off by an actual fucking ordained minister. You might be wondering, what sort of minister makes jokes about eating ass and reads about milk fingers and shit like that? A fun one. I can legally marry and bury people. I can do some third thing too, but I don't give a shit about that. This might be the third thing, actually. Anyway, Sermon 16. The Hortator wandered through the morning hold, wrestling with the lessons he had learned. They were slippery in his mind. He could not always keep the words straight, and knew that this was a danger. He wandered to find Vivec, his lord and master, the glory of the image of Veloth, and found him, of all places, in the temple of false thinking, which I guess is Boethia. There, clockwork shears were taking off Vivec's hair. A beggar king had brought his loom, and was making of the hair an incomplete map of adulthood and death. Nerevar said, "Why are you doing this, my lord?" Vivec said, to make room for the fire. And the Hortator could see that Vivec was out of sorts, though not because of the impending new power to come. The Golden Warrior poet had been exercising his water face as well, learned from the dregs before he was born. Which, for those who were, like, in here now that weren't in here earlier, Vivec spent a while as an egg inside of his mom, like, a cumulative, like, a year or more, as an egg. And then she was killed, and then replaced with an android. And then he was put into that android, and then eventually that android goes found by Nerevar. And if you know nothing, I assume if you're watching me, you know something about Morrowind. If you don't know about Morrowind, basically, right, imagine a dude dies, and then he died, right, just the one, well, the original him died once. And then he just keeps coming back, because this one goddess is like, man, we gotta prank these fuckers real hard. You gotta fuck up their religion really bad. And so Nerevar keeps coming back and dealing with his evil exes and other bullshit. So anyway, Vivec learned from crab people his water face. Nerevar said, "Is this to keep you from the fire?" And Vivec replied, "It is so that I may see with truth. It, in my place here at the altar of Padhome, in the house of false thinking, serve so that I may see beyond my own secrets. The water face cannot lie. It comes from the ocean, which is too busy to think, much less lie. Moving water resembles truth by its trembling." Nerevar said, "I am afraid to become slipshod in my thinking." Vivec said, "Reach heaven by violence, then." So to quiet his mind, the Hortator chose from the fight racks an axe. He named it and moved on to the first moon. There, Nerevar was greeted by the Parliament of Craters, who knew him by title and resented his presence, for he was to be a ruling king of Earth, and this was the lunar realm. They shift around him in a pattern of entrapment. I need to take another drink. Man, after having... I've had the plague twice, and it makes my lungs not good anymore. The moon does not recognize crowns or scepters, they said, nor the representatives of kingdoms below, lion or serpent or mathematician. We are the graves of those that have migrated and become ancient countries. We seek no queens or thrones. Your appearance is decidedly solar, which is to say a library of stolen ideas. We are neither tear nor sorrow. Our revolution succeeded in the manner that it was written. You are the Hortator, and unwelcome here. And so Nerevar carved at the grave ghosts until he was out of breath, and their parliament could make no new laws. He said, "I am not of the slaves that perish." Of the members of parliament, only a few survived the Hortator's attack. A surviving crater said, "Appropriation is nothing new. Everything happens of itself. This motive is by no means unassociated with hero myths. You have not acted with the creative impulse. You fall below the weight of destiny." What the fuck is this shit? Okay, to the Elder Scrolls. Okay. "We are graves, but not coffins. Know the difference. You've only dug more and supplied no ghosts to reside within. Central to your claim is the predominance of frail events. To be judged by the earth is to sit on a throne of wonder why. Damage us more and you will find naught but the absence of our dead." Man... I guess you just gotta learn by doing. And he did wrong, I guess. He fucked up and killed people with axes. I guess that wasn't the riddle. It was like, oops, this isn't how you make Cookies, this is gay sex. Which, here's the thing, you might be thinking that's a fucking non sequitur. This is Vivec we're talking about, and it's 36 lessons, of which non-0% of them were about homosexual relationships. Oh, alright. Another drink, and then another sermon. It's just water, by the way. I was worried that people would think that I'm, like, slowly getting horrifically drunk. No. Reading is just really fucking thirsty work. I am an atlas of smoke. With this, Vivec became greater than he had been. These were the days of Risdania, when Keimer and Dwemer lived under the wise and benevolent rule of the Elm CV and their champion, the Hortator. Seek me without effort, for I take many shapes. The Hortator was trying to subdue the heavens with an axe. He was thrown out of the library of the sun by the power of Magnus. Vivec found him in the grub field outside the swamps of the Deshan Plain. They walked for a span of silence, for Nerevar had been humbled, and Vivec still had mercy in his hand. Soon they were walking across the eastern sea, and to the land of snakes and snow demons. Ooh, Ekivir. Vivec wanted to show the Hortator the fighting styles of foreign tongues. They learned the idiom stroke from the pillow book of the Siaci king, which from memory, pillow books are erotic literature. So they learned, I don't know if they're jacking it, or if they're literally learning how to use swords, or if they're learning new phrases, poetry. It's Vivec. It could be all three. It is shaped like the insight of this page. The Siaci... I might be fucking up that pronunciation a lot. The Siaci serpents vowed to have their vengeance on the west at least 3 times. They walked farther and saw the spiked waters at the edge of the map. Here the spirit of limitation gifted them with a spoke and bade them find the rest of the wheel. The Hortator said, "The edge of the world is made of swords." Vivec corrected him. "They are the bottom row of the world's teeth." They walked to the north till the elder wood, and found nothing but frozen bearded kings. They came to the west, where the black men dwelt. For a year they studied under their sword saints, and then for another, Vivec taught them the virtue of the little reward. Vivec chose a king for a wife, and made another race of monsters, which ended up destroying the west completely. Is he trying to say that instead of the Red Guards learning to nuke themselves by swinging their swords real good, that he caused fucking Yakuta to explode? He might be. I don't know if that's racist. Anyway, Vivec said to the guy he made it into his wife, "We must not act and speak as if asleep." Nerevar wondered if there was anything to learn in the south. But Vivec remained silent and only led them to Red Mountain. Is Dunmer even real? It is apparently where the elves come from. I've also heard that it's just a fucking metaphor, because there's like no info on them. It's all mysteries. Temptations of there was a physical homeland, but rather a collection of mental images left over from the chaos of the Dawn Era. It's ancient bullshit. Vivec didn't even, like, say, yeah, it's not real. He was just like... and just kept walking. "Here," Vivec said, "is the last of the last. Within it, the Sharmat awaits. Mind you, Vorin hasn't done his shit yet, so this is like a timey-wimey bullshit thing going on here. This is just silly Vivec bullshit." But they both knew that the time was not ready to contest the Sharmat, and so they engaged in combat with one another. With each other. Vivec marked the Hortator in this way for all of the Velothi to see. He sealed the wound with the blessing of Aam Azura, At the end of the battle, the Hortador found that he'd gathered 7 more spokes. He attempted to attach them and form a staff, but Vivec would not let him, saying, "It is not the time for that." Nervar said, "Where did I find these?" Vivec said that they had collected them from around the world, though some of them come invisibly. "I am the wheel," he said, and took that shape. Before the emptiness of the center could live too long, Nervar put in the spokes. Man, I don't even fucking know what to say to this shit. Vivec's a goddamn wheel right now. And I'm really thirsty. I don't know how much longer I can do this. I'll probably finish Sermon 18 at the very least. But man, reading's... my throat's not used to this shit. What's wild is I can talk for like over an hour straight when I'm like having a normal conversation. I don't know what it is about like reading text out loud that's so much more stressful on the throat. But it's something, and it's not great. Sermon 18. Now Vivec felt that he had taught the Hortator as much as he could before the war with the Dwemer came. The warrior poet decided he had to begin his Book of Hours. The fuck is this shit? It's more bullshit. I can't cover that right now, man. I don't got the time or the energy. Plus, it came out after this was written. I don't... it was expanded upon. Because the world was about to bend with its age. Vivec entered the Mourninghold. Mind you, this is Mourninghold, like Mournhold. Yeah. The City of Light and Magic. Not to be confused with Shimmerine, by the way. Which I don't think I've ever fucking... what the fuck is Shimmerine? Yeah, that's some Somerset bullshit. Get that out of here. And it announced to AM that he was going to fight 9 monsters that had escaped the Moatra. Oh, he didn't kill all of his children with his fucking spear penis. "I will return," he said, "to deal the last blow." Oh, it's the last sermon. "To the Grand Architect of the Dunmer." AM said, "Out of 9, you will find only 8, though they be mighty. The last is already destroyed by your decision to create the Book of Hours." Vivec understood that AM meant himself. "Why?" she asked. "Are you in doubt?" Vivec knew that his doubt made him the Sword of the Triune, and so he did not feel shame or fear. Instead, he explained, and these are the words. And these words need me to take a sippy. My stomach is filling with water and I'm still not hydrated enough for this shit. I might need to put on fucking chapstick or some shit. My lips are fucking dry. Can a member of the Invisible Gate... oh, the Tribunal. Okay. Become so archaic that its successor is not so much an improvement of the exact model, but rather a related model that is just needed more because of the currency of the world's condition. As the mother, you do not have to worry, unless things in the future are so strange that even Set cannot understand. Neither does the executioner or the fool, but I am neither. Before we move on, I do want to cover the fool. I want to say the fool is the player character, right? Is the hero, the prisoner. I'm not sure what the executioner would be. Would that be like Dagoth? Huh. He's already talking about their eventual downfall, which is interesting. I wonder if is it Invisible Gate because of the fact that they're holding back Dagoth. Fuck, man. Morrowind's got such interesting shit in it. These ideals are not going to change nature, even though they may change in representation. But even in the West, the Rainmaker vanishes. No one needs him anymore. Why is Shazar a picture of a fucking chicken? Oh. He's just a fucking... He's just associated with them. Look at this fucking guy. Do you see the God of Man when you gaze upon the image of this cock? What the fuck are they doing back here? Why has he got the Rainmaker? Can one oust the model not because the model is set according to an ideal, but because it is tied to an ever-changing and conscious mortal agenda? This is what was said to AM when Vivec was whole. The wise shall not mistake this. AM said, "This is why you were born of an Etchman's wife, and destined to merge with the simulacrum of your mother, gilled and blended in all the arts of the star-wounded East, under water and in fire, and in metal and in ash, 6 times the wise, to become the union of male and female, the magic hermaphrodite, the martial axiom, the sex death of language, and unique in all the middle world." Vivec knew, then, why he would record his Book of Hours. This sermon is forbidden. In this world and others, 18 less 1, the victor, is the magical disc, hurled to reach heaven by violence. What the fuck is Reminata? What? It's Remen, the guy who's made out of, like, jizz that got put on a mound or something? I don't got time for this right now. Anyway, this sermon is untrue. The ending of the words is MCV. Holy fucking duck, man. This is some wild shit. Okay. Just wait. I'm checking some stuff real quick. And I'll be right. But you know what? I'll keep reading for a bit. I see there's like 4 people watching, so I'll keep reading until I physically can't. If my voice starts actively like hurting constantly, I'll stop. I just love this shit so fucking much. I grew up on I share a birth month and year with the elders. I think I'm like 7 days older or some shit. Actually, you know what? I have the technology. Where you at, Arena? The fuck are you? No. I was told it was March. What? What? I don't want to click on that link. What does Wikipedia say? What is this shit? Why is that there? When did it come out? 1994, yeah. March 20, okay. So, I'm 13 days older. Okay. Unfortunately, Justin Bieber is older than both me and the Elder Scrolls. I don't know how to feel about that, because I think he was born on March 1st, which is abysmal, which is dog shit. But yeah, I've always just been so fucking into the Elder Scrolls shit. Because of technical reasons, I wasn't able to play with Tamriel Rebuilt. I'm currently like a few hours into Morrowind. I would have done Dunmeri rebuilt and done some of the cool shit with that. I'll have to do a more in-depth Morrowind project in the future, but for now it's going to be about the murderous polycule that Nerevar got stuck into. Because next month is Valentine's Day month, and so I'm aiming to release it on the 14th of next month. That way, I can have all the footage and shit ready. It's going to be a pretty simple video. It'll be good fun. But back to this. The sex death of language. Fucking love it. Sermon 19. Vivec put on his armor and stepped into a non-spatial space, filling to capacity with mortal interaction and information, and canvas-less cartography of every single mind it has ever known, an event that had developed some semblance to a divine spark. He said, "From here I shall launch my attack on the 8 monsters." Vivec then saw the moths that would come from the starry heart. Okay. Bringing with them dust more horrible than the ash of Red Mountain. He saw the twin head of the ruling king who had no equivalent, and 8 imperfections rubbed into precious stones. I'm guessing that's the Aedra? Yep, 8 divines. Set into a crown that looked like shackles. Is that... Would that be the amulet? Yep, the amulet of kings. Which he understood to be the twin crowns of the two-headed king, and a river that fed into the mouth of the two-headed king, because he contained multitudes. Vivec then built the provisional house at the center of the secret door. From here he could watch the age to come. Of the house is written. Cornerstone 1 has a finger, buried under, pointing through. Dirt, slow low to the ground. North cannot be guessed, and yet it is spirit-free. Cornerstone 2 has a tongue, and even dust can be talkative. Listen, and you will see the love the ancient libraries need. Cornerstone 3 has a bit of string, shaped like your favorite color. A girl remembers who left it there, but she is afraid to dig it out and see what it is attached to. And you can know that some of this is just poem bullshit, because if this girl was an actual, like, mythological figure, I could click on girl and it would bring me to a fucking page. Cornerstone 4 has 9 bones, removed carefully from a black cat, arranged in the fashion of this word, protecting us from our enemies. Your house is safe now, so why is it? Your house is safe now, so why is it? The ending of the words is Elm CV. Truly a mystery. I won't lie. Besides this being, the stuff about the Empire coming on in and them having to deal with that, I don't know what some of this shit is. It's far more poetry than I'm equipped to deal with. I'm not admittedly much into poetry and stuff like that. So I'm going to move on to the next one, because I don't have much else to say about that. Sermon 20. The first monster was actually 2, having been born twice like his father, Vivec. He was not the mightiest of the 8 to escape Moatra, but his actions were the most worrisome. He was known as Moon Yo, it's my OC, Moon Axel. And he harvested the leftovers foibles of nature. This he did twice, and was said, and the second harvest always brought ruin or unwritten law. His aspect was faceted like a polyhedron. This motherfucker's a goddamn die. Is this motherfucker a D20? Was the most worrisome of Vivec's children a D20? I don't know. It's really funny if it was. Oh fuck, was it one of them D&D's oh the little robot guys? I can't remember their names right now. Modrons? Is that what your fucking child is? I need to take a fucking drink before I talk. Moon Axle. Man, is that a really shitty My Little Pony OC? Or is that a really good Sonic OC? Moon Axle. No perils are mentioned in the finding of Moon Axle, but it was known that he was immune to spears. Oh god damn it, he's immune to penises. So Vivec had to use the sword not held against him. The fuck is this shit? Mind you, I've read all of this before, but it's been years slash some of this is just fucking weird. I'm always worried if there's images, because there might be a dick, or a big titties. Silver long sword. Moon Axle. I don't... What the fuck is this shit? I know it's shit that happens later on. He's so goddamn smug. I can't zoom in all that much. Vivec isn't... He's, like, not unfuckable, but he's not all that fuckable either. Not just because he's a fucking hipster douchebag. But also there's, like, no... He's got, like, no fat on him. Is this one of your children? Just wait. I can't make it bigger. This is some anime-ass shit, and I don't mean that derogatorily. Alright, back to reading about Moon Axle. Before he took issue with the monster, the warrior poet asked, "How came you to be immune to spears?" Which, for the person that just joined recently, I don't know if you joined before I made this joke already, spears are also penises sometimes, so this monster, which is the child of Vivec, might be immune to penises. Or just spears, I don't know. To which Moon Axle replied, "Mine is a dual nature, and protean. I'm in fact made of many straight lines, though none last too long. In this way I have learned to ignore all true segments." Truly, the villainy that is a D20 rolling on a 1. Luckily, the sword not held was curved and therefore could cut into Moon Axle. And before the sun was up, he was bleeding from many wounds. Vivec did not slay him outright, for to do so, he would to... Because this is the way it's written in book. Okay, so, Vivec did not slay him outright, for to do so would... two O's? Or keep the foibles of nature within him and not back where they belonged. Soon Vivec had traced geography right again, and Moon Axle was ready to be slain. Vivec rose up in his giant form, to be terrible to look upon. He reached into the west and pulled out a canyon, holding it like a horn. He reached east and ate a handful of nixhounds. Blowing their spirits through the canyon made a terrible wail, not unlike an unsolved woman. He said, "I need to take another drink before I can keep reading this shit." Oh. I might try and push myself to go to midnight like I had planned. Because I'm like, if I get it out of the way now, tomorrow night will be even faster. Actually, I might stop at this one, because there's 16 more to go. Let this overtake you, and Moon Axle was overtaken by the curvatures of stolen souls. They wrapped about the monster like resin, until finally he could not move, nor could his dual nature. Vivec said, "Now you are solved," and pierced his child with Moatra. Okay, so this is indeed him using his penis spear on his D20 shaped child, who's also a demon or something. A half Daedra, born of Molag Bal. Moon Axle had been reduced to something static, and therefore shattered. The lines of Moon Axle were collected by Velothi philosophers and taken into caves. There, and for a year, Vivec taught the philosophers how to turn the lines of his sun into the spokes of mystery wheels. This was the birth of the first whirling school. Before, there had only been the surface thought of fire. Vivec looked at his first wheeling students and observed. Alike, the egg-layered universe is this morbid possession of three distant coverage. Soul-wrecked and alive. Oh, three distant. Did I say it? I don't know if I said it wrong or not. Like my name is alive. In this cloister, you have discovered one walking path. Hilled like a sword, but more coarsened. So edged is it that it is to be whispered to keep the tongue from bleeding, where its signs evacuate their former meanings, like empires that tarry too long. The sword is estrangement from statesmanship. Look on the estimable lines of my son, now crafted star-wise, his every limb equidistant from the center. Is he solved because I will it so? There cannot be a second stage. Think on the theory that my existence promulgate... What the fuck does this mean? Okay, it's proclamating. Okay. The five elements, and alike, the egg-layered universe, I am cause for great density. Here is a thought that can break the wagon's axle. Here is another that can soar. The ending of the words is LMCV. Okay. I need a moment to reread this in my brain. What did we learn from this? No half measures, as Mike from Breaking Bad once said. If you have a demon child, you should kill it. Empire shouldn't last too long, as Wolf from this game says, which, I don't want to lean over and type, so I'm doing this the fucking hardest way imaginable. Where's literally all the NPCs? All this for a fucking gag I'm trying to make. Alright, main story. It's in the main story. Quests. Main quest. Where the fuck is it? No. Is it this? I might just have to fucking bite the bullet and type. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so there's an NPC in Morrowind who might be Talos, or he could just be an avatar of Tiber Septim who helps make up Talos. It's complicated. And he's like, holy shit. He says he's got some quotes about how maybe the Empire is getting too long and maybe something else should come about of it. That's the reference I wanted to make. All right. So, Sermon 21. I'm going to check something. I have the technology. What the shit is this? Put in my watch later. Alright. Disney, don't sue me. Alright. Do I stop now? I got 4 people watching. Yeah. I'll keep going. Alright. So long as I got people watching, I'll keep going for a bit. The scripture of the wheel. First. The spokes are the 8 components of chaos, as yet solidified by the laws of time. Law of time. Yakatosh. Static change, if you will. Something the lizard gods refer to as the striking. That is the reptile wheel. Coiled potential. Ever preamble to the never action. Second. They are the lent bones of the Aedra. The 8 gift limbs to Sethisit. The wet earth of the new star, our home. Outside them is the Orbis, and not within. Like most things inexplicable, it is a circle. Circles are confused serpents. Okay, that's fucking... that's lore I can't get into. Striking, and never given leave to bite. The Aedra would have you believe different, but they are givers before liars. Lies have turned them into biters. Their teeth are the proselytizers. To convert is to place oneself in the mouth of falsehood. Even to perpetuate is to be swallowed. Isn't this like to give in? Oh, that's just straight up a word I don't think I've ever seen before. Oh, it is like a give in, sort of. Okay. Third, the enlightened are those uneaten by the world. What the fuck does this shit even mean? Is this tied to the Kalpas? Okay, it's kind of like Akatosh. Jesus Christ. Yeah, world skins, Kalpas. Yeah. Basically, it's a cycle. It's like a cycle, right? Is that the Is that the world in the Elder Scrolls repeats over and over again, right? Alduin was supposed to eat the world so that it could get like redone or whatever. Like that's his job, but he fucked that up because he tried to take over the world. Why is my blanket dusty? Just wait. Must be the cat. The cat must have done it. Was it trace some dust onto my fucking blanket? Anyway, that's what that has to do with that. So, in between worlds, sometimes things don't get changed. They retain between the worlds, the Kalpas. So, specifically with the... I'm trying to find the right way to explain this. So basically, sometimes things hide away when Alduin eats the world. The dregs, or the Druze, depending upon your pronunciation of them, the crab people, they ran a former Kalpa. I don't know if it was the previous one to the one that we play in the Elder Scrolls games, but it is a previous one. They were the hot shit that time. Instead of literally everything the fuck else now. Fourth, the spaces between the gift limbs number 16. The signal shapes of the demon princedoms. It is the key and the lock. Ceres and Manticore. Which, for those either somewhat familiar or not familiar, the Daedra are other gods of the setting in which they didn't help make the setting. There's a lot of complicated shit. Basically, if you are somewhat familiar and you are familiar with like the realms of Oblivion, the realms of Oblivion are also the Daedra themselves. They are their own realms. It's just that you deal with like avatars and shit when they're like physical forms and all that, which is fucking fascinating. Fifth, look at the Majesty sideways, and all you see is the tower, which our ancestors made idols from. Look at its center, and all you'll see is the begotten whole, second serpent, womb ready for the right reaching, exact and without enchantment. So, to keep track of where I am, the wheel, right? A wheel being like imagine a wheel, a three-dimensional object that is the wheel for like a wagon. You turn a wheel sideways, and I don't mean like on the ground. I mean you turn it, you spin it so that an edge of the wheel is facing you. It's just a straight line at that point, which turns it into a straight line, which could be construed as a tower, which I think that's what this means. The towers are things that keep reality, the rules of reality, working. That's why in different sections of Tamriel, the gods are interpreted different ways, and that actually it actually alters the way that the gods function in different areas. It's fucking wild. It's fucking coolish. For as fucking normal seeming as the Elder Scrolls is, and for people fucking complaining about it, and like, yeah, they did take out some cool shit from like. Certainly Oblivion was butchered to shit in terms of the presentation, but Skyrim has some missing shit too. But the lore is still referenced to some extent. And thankfully with the work of the project Tamriel Rebuilt, and then the other ones, like Project Cyrodiil and whatever the fuck else they call them, the old lore that was present during Morrowind is being put into the Morrowind, the game, so that we can experience all that cool shit. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Oh. My stomach is acting up. Alright. Holy shit. Okay. Next one. Sixth. The heart of the second serpent holds the secret triangular gate. Which is... Yeah, so, Lorcan, his heart, secret triangular gate, probably the tribunal. Seventh, look at the secret triangular gate sideways, and you see the secret tower. I don't know if that fucking translates back to that in the way I was talking about. Eighth, the secret tower within the tower is the shape of the only god, of the only name of God, I. Okay, yeah. Sure. It's Kim, I guess. Such a fucking Karen-ass name, too, to name a fucking... Such a powerful concept. The end of the words is MCV. And there's still 4 people watching, which is fucking fantastic. Alright. Boop. Sermon 22. Then Vivec left the first whirling school and went back to the space that was not a space. From the provisional house, he looked into the middle world to find the second monster, which was called the Treasure Wood Sword. Within years of the pomegranate banquet, it had become a lessening tune, as in like a lesson tune, not lesson as in lesser. I don't know. That is it. I fucking guess it's just an archaic term for teaching lessons. To the lower Velothi houses, they preached of its power. The treasure wood sword, splinter scintilla of the high and glorious, he who wields it becomes self-known. The warrior poet appeared as a visitation in the ancestor alcove of House Mora. whose rose-worn Prince of Garlands. Who the fuck is this? Some fucking guy. Is he referencing more shit? Oh, apparently he is. What the fuck? House Mora. Absorbed by House Hlalu eventually. Was a hero against the northern demons. Vivec congregated with the bones. He said, a scavenger cannot acquire a silk sash and expect to discover the greater systems of its predecessor. Perfect happiness is embraced only by the weeping. Give me back, and do so freely, what is barren from my marriage, and I will not erase you from the thought realm of God. Your line has a noticeable enchantress that my sister AM is fond of, and from her murky wisdom alone do I condescend to ask. Just wait, I gotta take a note. A notey note. I am back from writing that note. Alright. So. Where was I? Yeah. Okay. A bone walker emerged from a wall. It had 3 precious stones set in its lower jaw, a magical practice of old. One was opal, the color of opal. Is it not just an opal? What? Okay, I guess opal. It's the color of itself. The Bone Walker bowed to the Prince of the Middle Air and said, the treasure wood sword will not leave our house. Bargains were made with Black Hands Mephala, the greater shade. Vivec kissed the first precious stone and said, animal picture, rude walker. Go back to the lamp that stays lit in water and store no more messages of useless noise. Down. He kissed the second precious stone and said, proud residue, soon dispersed. Serve no guarantees made in my fore-image, and demand nothing of its second skin. I am master, evermore. Down. He kissed the opal and said, down I take thee. And then Vivec withdrew into the hidden places and found the darkest mothers of the Morag Tong, taking them all to wife and filling them with undusted loyalty that tasted of summer salt. He's dicking them down crazy style. They became as black queens, screaming live with 100 murderous sons, 1,000 murderous arms, and 100,000 murderous hands. One vast moving event of thrusting kill laughter in alleys, palaces, workshops, cities, and secret halls. It's like a fractal in a way. Their movements among the holdings of the Ratham were as rippled endings. What the fuck is the Ratham? Okay, it's just some fucking family. Heaving between times, with all fates leading to the swallowed knives, murder as moaning, God's holy rape erasure of wet death. The king of assassins presented to Vivec the treasure wood sword. My lord, the king of assassins said, the prince of House Mora is now fond of you as well. I place him in the corner of Dagon. His eyes I set into a fire prayer for the wicked. His mouth I stuffed with birds. The ending of the words is MCV. This is more crazy bullshit that probably didn't happen. But it's fun, crazy bullshit that probably did. He's writing self-fanfiction about getting to hang out with cool people, and then he goes and gets a lot of wives and creates a bunch of kids. The wildest shit is he might have insisted on being the one that birthed them. But I don't know. He is capable of many things. He's capable of giving birth to a lot of demons and also of knocking up a lot of women. He's got a spear made of his penis. This is just normal in the Elder Scrolls. I can't. This isn't. I cannot express upon thee the wonders of all of this shit. Man, I might just do all of it tonight. I don't know. I would have 13 more after this. I don't know if I have the energy and the power. I might. I'll keep trying. Alright. Sermon 23. The Scripture of the Sword. First. The sword, treated as a delicate meal, is the symbolic collage. It serves you well in the first half of life. Name one dynasty that knows this not. Second, the unity of my approach is understood by the immobile warrior. True eyes are acquired. Rejoice as my own subjects and realms. I build for you a city of swords, by which I mean laws that cut people who live there into better shapes. It's Vivec the city, which is owned by Vivec the god. Not dissimilar to Dagoth the building, which within resides Dagoth the god, both of which reside within Dagoth the mountain, or whatever the fuck. Holy shit. Third, girls burn their dresses on my arrival if I am armored. They crawl to me as bled pilgrims. Minor spirits die without trace. Follow me of all of the MCV if you are to mark your days with killing. A Altadune, the third law of weaponry. Man, he's just all about killing and fucking. And poetry. Fourth, the immobile warrior is never fatigued. He cuts sleep holes in the middle of a battle to regain his strength. What is this fucking book? Okay, each of these are like skill books. What is this, like heavy armor? Long blade. What? This means to like take a break when you're fighting, to like not swing so much and stuff. I guess. Fifth, instinct is not reflex action, but many miracles held in reserve. I am the welfare that decides which warrior will emerge. Beg not for luck. Serve me to win. This is just telling you how stamina works and, fatigue works in fucking Morrowind. Sixth, the span of the apparently inactivated is your love of the absolute. The birth of God from the Neptune's wife is the abortion of kindness from love. I didn't expect to have to say that sentence today. This is great. I hope this makes a good VOD, too. I might make a highlights of all this. Let's see. Seventh, the true sword is able to cut chains of generations, which is to say, the creation myths of your enemies. Look on me as the exiled garden. All else is uncut weed. Eighth, I give you an ancient road, tempered by the second walking way. Your hands must be huge to wield any sword the size of an ancient road, and yet he who is of right stature may irritate the sun with only a stick. Mind you, in the Elder Scrolls setting, the sun is just a big hole in reality in which a god fled before creation coalesced, because he was like, I don't want to fucking deal with this shit. It was Magnus, by the way. Magnus. The end of the words is LMCV, in case you're wondering. It's time for another sippy. Sermon 20... I need to stand up for a moment. I'll be... Ugh. I need the blood back into my fucking bones. Did we even get to the piercing of the third or fourth aperture yet? I'm pretty sure that's mentioned in this shit. I can't remember where it is, though. I might have just combined two different sentences into the piercing of the third aperture. All I know is that when I want to explain to somebody the tone of these sermons, I tell them that there's much piercing of the third aperture, and also there's milk fingers. Oh. Sermon 24. Then Vivec left the House of Assassins and went back to the space that was not a space. From the provisional house, he looked into the middle world to find the third monster, called Horde Mountain. That is a Sonic villain. Totally. That's totally like a Sonic boss that you gotta fight. Horde Mountain. It was made of modular warriors running free, but spaced according to pattern. And from the highest warrior, who could cut clouds, they spread out beneath him like a tree. A skirt whose bottom circle was an army that ran through the ash. Vivec admired the cone shape of his child and remembered with joy the whirlwind of fighting styles that instructed him during the days before life. Vivec moved into Veloth, saying, Onus. But before he could even get within a sword span of the monster... Just wait, somebody sent me an image. Okay. My roommate... Oh! Almost dropped my phone. Before he could even get within sword span of the creature, a trio of lower houses had trapped Horde Mountain in a net of doubtful doctrine. When they saw their lord, the Velothi cheered. Yay! We are happy to serve you and win, they said. Vivec smiled at those brave souls around him and summoned celebration demons to cleave onto the victors. Holy fuck. There was a great display of love and duty around the netted monster. Vivec was at the center with a headdress made of mating bones. He laughed and told mystical jokes and made the heads of the three houses merry and become a new order. You shall forever be now my buoyant armigers. It's his harem of gay boyfriends. Then Vivec pierced Horde Mountain with his penis spear and made of it all a big bag of bones. You can't be fucking serious with this shit. And made of it all a big bag of bones. At the touch of his right hand, the net became right scripture and he threw it all northwest-easterly. The contents spread out like sugar glows, and Vivec and the buoyant armigers ran under it laughing. Is this a reference to the fucking coke? Okay, so moon sugar is harvested from a plant or whatever that's in elsewhere, and it gets its magical bullshit crack. It's narcotic properties from the moon, which is tied to Azura or some shit like that. The moon, well, there's two moons. Anyway, there's also cocaine whales in Skyrim. That's what Todd took away from us. The whales that blow cocaine out, and then the Nords who are wasabi biting, they bite their shields, which are smeared with wasabi. They bite them, and they get tricked as fuck out. They're twerked up white boys. And they just come in and they fight the fuck out of everything that isn't them. Oh, back to this shit though. Finally, the bones of Horde Mountain landed and became the foundation stones for the City of Swords, which Vivec named after his own sigil, and the net fell across it and all between. Or became as bridges between bones, and since its segments had been touched by his holy wisdom, they became the most perfect of all city streets in the known worlds. I want you to fucking see what the layout of his goddamn city looks like. There's fucking nobody here. because of engine limitations back in the day. Fucking... Like, there's these as decoration, but, like, there's just these guys and some guards. Like, some of the cool concept art, and also there's mods for it, but some of the mods weren't running all that well for me. Just like I gotta tell one of my homies good night. One of my homies on Discord. There we go. You gotta kiss your homies goodnight. And then, fuck it, look at this shit. It's abysmal. Look at that. Look at that shit. No one wants to live there. You look like you go in there, you don't come back out. Or it's one of those weird ass things where you go in here, you come back out here. Like the fucking puzzle city. God damn it, Vivec. And it's just more of the same, all over. This is shit I'd make in Minecraft. And I have tried. I don't hate the idea of it, but it's just like... Man. Where the fuck was I? Okay, yep. Throngs of Velothi came to the new city, and Am and Set gave it their blessing. The streets were filled with laughter and love, and the strength of tree-shaped enemy children. Holy fuck. Am said, "To my sister brother's city, I give the holy protection of House Indoril, whose powers and thrones know no equal under heaven, wherefrom came the Hortator." And Set said, "To my sister brother's city, I give safe passage through the dark corners still left by Molag Bal," which, mind you, Vivec fucked and had a lot of babies with. In case you're not privy to that information at present. And I give it this spell as well, Soothasil, which is my name to the mighty. It will protect the lost unless their flight is on purpose, and fill all the roads and valleys with the mystery paths of civilization, and give the city a mind and make it a conduit to the full concentration of the Elm CV. Thus was founded the city of Vivec in the days of Resdania. The hang of the words is Elm CV. Why is this one not clickable? Why is this one not clickable? Did he spell it wrong? I don't know. I don't know why that one's not fucking clickable. So, more wild bullshit happened. I had to take another sippy. I don't even know what to say this time. It's how... There's a fucking bag of bones. Vivec the city is just made of a lot of bones. What the fuck is Horde Mountain? Okay. Alright. I think we should move on to Sermon 25. Oh, god damn. Okay, it's not that long. Holy fuck. The scripture of the city. All cities are born of solid light, such as my city, his city. But then the light subsides, revealing the bright and terrible Angel of Veloth. Who the fuck is the Angel of Veloth? What the fuck? Ants are real, but also... They are considered beautiful creatures and are described as elegant and benevolent. The face of Emerald, the unfeathered helmet, was said to be that of an angel. What the fuck does this helmet look like again? The rainbow angel called the fallen angel was described as a bright and terrible angel. Okay, I guess that's fucking Veloth himself. The angelfish. Show me your helmet. I guess that's the face of an angel. I don't know how biblically accurate that shit is. He is in his pre-chimerical form. Demonic Vec. Okay. So, like, I thought he was something like Vec the guy. Not Vec the god. Gaunt and pale and beautiful, skin stretched painfully thin on bird's bones, feathered serpents encircling his arms. His wings are spread out behind him, their red and yellow ends like razors in the sun. The wispy mass of his fire hair floats as if underwater, milky in the nimbus of light that crowns his head. His presence is undeniable, that awe too much to bear. This is God's city, different from others. Cities from foreign countries put their denizens to sleep and walk to the star-wounded east to pay homage to me, the capital of the northern men. Crusty with aeon's ice, bows before Vivec the city, me it together. Self-thought streets rush through tunnel blood. I have rebuilt myself. Hyper-eyed signposts along my traffic arm, soon to be an inner sea. My body is crawling with all gathered to see me rising up like a monolithic instrument of pleasure. My spine is the main road to the city that I am. Countless transactions are taking place in veins and catwalks, and the roaming, as they roam over and through and add to me. There are temples erected along the hollow of my skull, and I will ever wear them as a crown. Walk across the lips of God. They add new doors to me, and I become effortlessly trans-immortal with the comings and goings and the stride heat of the market, where I am traded for. Yell of the children, hear them play, scoffed at, amused, desired, pay for in native coin, new minted with my face on one side and my city body on the other. I stare with each new window. Soon I am a million-eyed insect dreaming. Red sparking war trumpets sound like cattle in the ribcage of shuffling transit. The heretics are destroyed on the plaza knees. I flood over into the hills, houses rising like a rash, and I never scratch. Cities are the antidotes to hunting. I raise lanterns to light my hollows, lend wax to the thousands I gotta drink. Oh, fuck. Alright. I raise lanterns to light my hollows, lend wax to the thousands of the candlesticks that bear my name again and again. The name innumerable, shutting in, mantra and priest, God City, filling every corner with the naming name, wheeled, circling, running river language, giggling with footfalls mating, selling, stealing, searching, and worry not, ye who walk with me. This is the flowing scheme of the Orbis. This is the promise of the PSJJJ. Egg, image, man, God, city, state. I serve and am served. I am made of wire and string and mortar, and I accede my own precedent, world without am. The ending of the words is LMCV. Is this the The dudes that come from the Eye of Magnus. The... What? The Sigic Order? Or Padme. Both are interesting. Holy fuck. I might just have to call it here. This was my planned stop anyway, and I'm feeling out of it, homies. Alright. So I might call, yeah. Tomorrow night I'll finish it off. Eastern Standard Time, I start at 9. 10 of these I should be able to do in a little over an hour. I don't know what I'll do after I'm done reading this stuff tomorrow night, but I gotta read these ones specifically. So, to all of those who have watched some, if you wanna come back tomorrow night, I know it's gonna be a work day the next day, so that's kind of a thing. Yeah. Worst case, there's always gonna be the VOD. I'll try and see if I can fill in the space with some other stuff tomorrow night. I might have something in mind. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I'm gonna be calling it here. So, I hope that you all had a good time. If you're not already subscribed to me, you can do so. I do big videos where I talk about the games that my old man didn't get to play. Because he's dead. You know, as dead people do. So, I hope that all of you have a great night. And, I need to... Oh, fuck. I can't open the thing and remember what my fucking sign-off is. It's, stay... I think it's like, stay safe, stay strong, and remember that trans rights are human rights. Good night, everybody. Oh, fuck. I'm trying to end the stream. Please let me end the stream.